All right, the top focus, the monsoon session of the parliament, which has ended, but the fierce face-off between the government and the opposition, which is continuing to rage. Now, Prime Minister Modi, while virtually addressing the BJP's Panchayatayiraj Parishad in Bengal, launched a blistering attack on the opposition. He tore into the TMC over violence during Panchayat elections in Bengal, accusing the Mamata Banerjee party of resorting to violence to intimidate the opposition. Hitting out, he said that the TMC indulged quote unquote in a खूनी खेल. TMC ने खूनी खेल खेला है. That was the big message coming from the Prime Minister's side, meaning TMC has played a game of bloodbath. Now, the Prime Minister then took on the opposition over the Manipur issue, saying that they ran away from Lok Sabha because they knew that Manipur truth would sting them the most.
मणिपुर पर चर्चा नहीं चाहते थे क्योंकि उनको मालूम था कि मणिपुर का सच सबसे ज्यादा उनको चुभने वाला है। उनको मणिपुर के नागरिकों की उनके दुख दर्द की पीड़ा नहीं थी, परवाह भी नहीं थी। उनके लिए उनकी राजनीति, देश से बड़ा दल, मणिपुर की चर्चा तो टाल दी। अविश्वास प्रस्ताव लाकर के राजनीतिक बहस को ही उन्होंने प्राथमिकता दी। राजनीतिक मुद्दों को लेकर के ही सदन का 3 दिन में विपक्ष में बैठे हुए साथी अपना स्कोर करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे। अभी वहां पंचायत के चुनाव हुए। इस चुनावों में टीएमसी ने कैसा खूनी खेल खेला, ये भी देश ने देखा है। तो एक एक वोट पर अड़ंगे डालना, भय का वातावरण बनाना, काउंटिंग में से बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ताओं को उठा करके बाहर ले जाना, बैठने नहीं देना, इतने जुल्म के बाद भी ये पश्चिम बंगाल की जनता है, उसका प्यार है कि वो बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ताओं को आशीर्वाद देते रहे हैं और बीजेपी के प्रत्याशी जीतते जा रहे हैं।
In fact, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee hit back at the Prime Minister's statement, saying that the remarks were made without any evidence. Asking the BJP to behave, she said that the Prime Minister of the country wants the nation to die and the common people to suffer. Listen in.
Team India Alliance. So whatever he can, he is speaking without any evidence. He wants the poor people should die, the country should die, the common people should suffer, and only BJP is their backer. Cannot reach the people with their ideology. Forgotten all the ideology. Their ideology is only to create. Well, you cannot raise the corruption issue because you are fully surrounded by so many issues like PM Care Fund, like Rafale agreement, like the agreement to sell the defense factory and all, to sell the private sector all, 2000 note demonetization in the name of note denomination, and also the 2000 note now you want to cancel it because of your party interest and your interest. So don't forget that people are fooled. You can fool the people some of the time, but you cannot fool the people all the time. So first, charity begins at home. See your own face. You don't take action against of your people who are corrupted, who is totally involved in character assassination case, atrocities on women case, atrocities on wrestler, atrocities on Manipur, atrocities in everywhere. Even your people killed our Bengal, the 16, 17 people, more than. And you are giving the batash, hawa, some political wind to them. So first behave properly.
In fact, the BJP echoed the Prime Minister, accusing the TMC of violating the voting system in the recently concluded rural polls.
PM नरेंद्र मोदी जी टीएमसी के खिलाफ जो बोला एकदम सही बात बोला। वोटिंग सिस्टम में ओपन बैलेट करके वोटिंग जो सिस्टम है वायलेट हो रहा है, इतना घटना नहीं घटा। तब भी वो पार्लियामेंट में वो मणिपुर के बारे में हल्ला बोल बोला रहा है। इसलिए पीएम ने इसका करारा जवाब दे दिया.
All right, these were the arguments in the counter coming in from the side of the BJP and the opposition over the Prime Minister's blistering attack on the TMC and the overall team I.N.D.I.A. Let's open it up for a discussion. Gargi Nandi Roy, political analyst with us. Vivek Bansal, senior leader of the Congress with us. We also have Nilanjan Das, political analyst with us. I'll come to you first of all, Vivek Bansal. You heard what the Prime Minister had to say. It was one of the most scathing attacks which he has ever launched at the opposition, saying that you all, the team opposition, the Congress party, was not interested in listening or discussing the pain of the people of Manipur. All you wanted to do was politicize. What's your reaction?
When we talk about that the PM's allegation, I would completely differ on that. Reason being that it is discussion of 2.5 hours. First of all, let's us discuss it right there. For how much time was did he discuss Manipur, except for the fact that he was hitting out at Congress, that what Congress had been doing, what Rahul Gandhi is doing, and critical of all the schemes which Congress during a UPA regime. So that to say all this, because he had been placed on a back foot. Manipur is an issue. You see, it is not just confined within the boundaries of India. It has out the international community as well, and that can be corroborated by European Economic Committee. Parliament, they spoke on that, and I think that's an issue which must be hurting any right-minded or a responsible citizen. That how come Manipur is burning for so long? So to say that it was what is not political? Tell me, whatever discussion, whatever Mr. Modi is saying...
No, you say, sir, the Prime Minister spoke at length for over 2 hours. It wasn't just Manipur. But the question, end of the day, is why did you all walk out? If you all were so interested in discussing Manipur, the Prime Minister was answering the question. You should have heard him in full. But Gargi Nandi Roy, if you could come in here, what do you have to say about the arguments coming in from the side of the Congress? Because the Congress now seems to allege that the BJP and rather the Prime Minister on the floor of the House indulged in a virtual election speech, was not addressing just Manipur issue.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm just appalled by the hypocrisy of the Congress. See, if the Congress would have really wanted Manipur to be discussed, they would have discussed Manipur. They would not have brought this no confidence motion. When you bring a no confidence motion, obviously the government will give all the data and government will show you the mirror. Because Manipur, as we know, and the Prime Minister has said, we know that this ethnic violence, Manipur has a history of ethnic violence. 93, for months and months, 7 months, Manipur had burned and no Prime Minister had gone. Even the Home Minister did not go. Only the MOS had gone for 2 or 3 hours. So it is history. Of course, you will be shown the history. You should have discussed Manipur and see the hypocrisy of the Congress. They are today joining hands with TMC. Aren't they even ashamed? Aren't they even ashamed? The violence in Panchayat election in Bengal, when it started with the killing of a Congress candidate, Fulchand Sheikh in Murshidabad. 1 day after he filed a nomination, he was killed by TMC. How many killings have we seen? And if the Congress people are really compassionate about women, then they cannot be compassionate of women in one state and not in another.
I think it's a valid point you raise, and it's a very valid point you raise, and I'll go to Vivek Bansal on that. Yes.
This is Vivekji.
I've taken your point. We'll take a rebuttal from him. But Nilanjan Das, ma'am, since you mentioned West Bengal,
let me tell him, they were talking about women being stripped in Manipur. What happened when a BJP candidate was stripped in Pachla? Candidate was thrown out of the booth, and TMC candidate was named Himanta Roy, Noor Alam. They were named in the FIR. She was stripped. She was made.
So you raise valid points, ma'am. I'll take them to the Congress spokesperson as well. We'll get a rebuttal from him. But Nilanjan Das, if you could come in here, take on your point, ma'am. Nilanjan Das, what do you have to say about the Prime Minister's attack as far as the state of West Bengal, the violence, the bloodshed which we see in the state is concerned? Because end of the day, the buck stops with the state government, and many would say the Prime Minister is right. Who else would he question? Who else, would he really point fingers at if there is violence in the state, if not the Chief Minister of the state?
Well, Mr. Prime Minister can talk about the violence in Bengal. He should also know about the history of violence that is there in Bengal. He should be able to know that. I feel really sorry for Mr. Prime Minister that he is having to address a gathering in Bengal. And in Bengal, BJP has not a single Zila Sabhati sympathy. So I really feel sorry for him. He is rattled and he knows that he's actually staring at a defeat. He's staring at an imminent defeat in 2024. He knows the.
So you're saying that this is political frustration, sir. But the question remains the same. If there is bloodshed, are you denying there was bloodshed in the state of West Bengal? If there is bloodshed, if there is violence, I mean, who do we ask questions to if not the Chief Minister? Let's not forget that law and order is a matter of the state. But Vivek Bansal, if you could come in here, because there were some questions which were raised by I.N.D.I.A. As far as West Bengal is concerned, would you condemn, sir, what happened in West Bengal? Since you are so concerned, and rightly so, about women's right, would you condemn the violence in West Bengal? And if so, how is it that you are okay allying with the Congress, with the TMC when it comes to the national level, sir?
Oh, well, there are issues. First of all, I'll come to your last question, that why we are aligning with TMC on national issues. National issues are definitely have a wide ramifications as far as the country is concerned. So, in the larger interest of the country, we have to, whosoever is thinking right, whosoever is in sync with the Congress party or the interests of the country, we have to align with that. So first of all, this question, that what Madam BJP's spokesperson was talking about, that Manipur has a history. So I would like to remind her that there are so many things which have a history in this country. Communal rights to have a history. So do we condone that? Do we just exonerate, or do we just turn a blind eye to that, and we should not raise the issue on that? I think these are all pertinent. Manipur is an issue which is of different proportion. We cannot equate. And as far as the West Bengal is concerned, definitely we would condemn any violence.
But this is exactly, sir, I take your point. When you say Manipur has a history and that doesn't justify what happened in Manipur, that is one argument which you are making. But when it comes to West Bengal, you're criticizing Mamata government, sir.
I'm giving my answer on West Bengal. I'm saying that as far as West Bengal issue is concerned, definitely any violence in any part of the country is definitely not only to be condemned, but it has to be...
Interesting answer. Okay. Interesting answer. You will not name Mamata Banerjee. Very interesting. Even though law and order comes from the state government, but I.N.D.I.A, would you like to respond quickly? Sir, I'm left with a minute or so. Let the others respond. I.N.D.I, your turn.
Yes, in West Bengal, their state Congress leaders are opposing it. Their spokesperson and all, they are not agree with this alliance. How can they? Their people have been...
Vivek Bansal, hold your thoughts. Let Gargi speak. We'll continue.
Of the disease. Congressmen have been killed, Vivekji. What will you tell your cadres family who have been killed? What will you tell them? Okay, in the state you have been killed, but for greater interest, it is not. You are showing your political...
What would you tell those women?
Okay, point taken. I can see Nilanjan Das also raising his hand. I can see Nilanjan Das also raising his hand. Nilanjan, yes, you want to make a point quickly, please go ahead.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
You see, Bengal also has a history of violence when it comes to the Panchayat elections. I think Gargi ma'am knows it better. About 40 people have died during this Panchayat elections, and 2 out of 3 are from Congress. 2 out of 3 are from Trinamool Congress. So who has killed this TMC people? It is the BJP and this Rainbow Alliance. In Bengal, you have a Rainbow Alliance of BJP, CPM and Congress.
So you're saying that the BJP is to be blamed for the violence which has happened in the state of West Bengal. Again, if you speak to the Congress has a very interesting answer to give, saying that they condemn the TMC in the state but are happy to ally with them nationally. But point taken, ladies and gentlemen, we've run out of time. Point taken, we've taken everyone's point. As far as the Prime Minister's attack is concerned, it was one of the most scathing attacks coming in from the side of the Prime Minister. A fiery debate also has, of course, started post the Prime Minister's address. We will keep an eye on it and keep chasing that story through the course of the day. As of now, thank you all for joining us on the broadcast. We slip into a short commercial break.